Subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Click the bell button and enjoy the latest uploads from our channel.
For a player who's so frequently compared to a robot, the idea that Kawhi Leonard and the San Antonio Spurs seem poised for a breakup simply does not compute. The Spurs, who are coming off of their first non-50-win season since the lockout-shortened 1998-99 season. Yes, they even won 50 games in 2011-12 when the NBA only played 66 games. Have long represented the highest level of organizational success in team sports. Also, Leonard truly seems to fit the mold of Tim Duncan and David Robinson as upper-tier athletes whose work ethic and skill level far overshadow their off-court personality. You know the story by now, so it doesn't need to be further retold. Sometimes marriages don't last, and relationships aren't as perfect as they seem from the outside, but for Greg Popovich to be losing a 27-year-old superstar who's already won 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, finished top 3 in MVP voting twice, and has a Finals MVP under his belt is still shocking. With that said, recent reports indicate that the Spurs are fielding offers from at least the Los Angeles Lakers and Philadelphia 76ers for Leonard. And with LeBron James signing with Leonard's hometown and reportedly preferred destination Lakers on Sunday night, the clock is literally ticking. Although there's still potential for Leonard to reconsider his stance, he still has a year left on his contract and is only eligible for a supermax contract extension from San Antonio. We should embrace the possibility that next season might look a lot like this past season did for the Spurs. Leonard less. Yet, even though Kawhi Leonard missed 73 games, the Spurs still managed to post 47 wins. Here's why. Similar to Brad Stevens in Boston, the perception has been created that Coach Pop has a magic touch with his players. Guys who likely wouldn't excel in other situations seem to reach their ceilings under Popovich, which we saw last season. That's not to take anything away from LaMarcus Aldridge, the team's leader, in on-off per Basketball Reference. Despite appearing in 6 of the last 7 All-Star games, Aldridge has become one of the NBA's most underrated players, and had his best year as a Spur last season. The 32-year-old big man averaged 23.1 points per game on a career-best 57 true shooting percentage, also posting a career-low 6.8 turnover percentage and a 2.96 free throw rate, the highest mark he's posted since the 2010-11 season. In an era where the tallest men on the hardwood are revered for their ability to protect the rim, gravitate to the basket, and hold their own on switches with perimeter players, Aldridge is regarded as a throwback. However, when he's able to score the ball efficiently and not bog down the offense, he has plenty of value. However, when you look up and down the roster, it's a bit of a head-scratcher how they were able to post the 7th best net rating in the NBA last season without Leonard. And while they got crushed in the first round of the playoffs facing off with the eventual champion Golden State Warriors, they were only 2 games out of the 3rd seed out west. Yes, Aldridge played his behind off, but per usual, the Spurs fielded a roster with a nice mix of veterans and blossoming underdogs. A 37-year-old Pau Gasol was effective in limited minutes, Rudy Gay shot a career-best 47.1% from the field, and at 40 years old, Manu Ginobili still averaged 9 points per game and gave his all on every possession. On the flip side, young players like DeJounte Murray 21 and Kyle Anderson 24 also exceeded expectations. Neither player had gaudy counting stats, but both provided quality defense. Keep the ball moving. Despite the nickname Slow-Mo, Anderson is a very good facilitator and shot well enough from the field to keep this undermanned version of the Spurs offense around league average. There were also the in-betweeners, like Patty Mills, one of the best backup point guards in the NBA the last several seasons, and Danny Green, your classic 3-and-D wing, who stepped up to produce more in larger roles. In fact, the Spurs had such a deep rotation that they only had 3 lineups accumulate more than 100 minutes together last season. and the variance in those lineups was strange considering how little change there was. As pictured above, the team's best lineup featured Aldridge, Anderson, Green, Mills, and Murray. That same lineup was relatively successful swapping out Murray for Gasol, but struggled mightily with Gasol instead of Mills.